Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, welcoming you once again to the show as we run another one of our Delta Green campaigns. We've already hit the ground running with part one of A Victim of the Art, an awesome scenario put together by Dennis DeTwiller. I'm assuming I'm saying his name correctly because I have not heard back from him for him to tell me I haven't been. Of course, I'm probably recording this intro a little early anyways. All that being said, I want to remind each and every one of you fellow slingers out there how you could get in touch with this show and actually help us out. Head on over to any one of our social media footprints. We got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those wonderful things that, as a Gen Xer, I despise. Be sure to check out our channel on YouTube at Roll the Hard 20. We're there. Subscribe. Enjoy listening to at work, although it's really not safe for work, but as long as you got headphones in, and most people are probably working remotely anyways, you should still be okay. Also, whatever podcast app you listen to the show on, please leave us that 5-star rating and review. It really does help the show when it's looking for search engine optimizers to look for other things that play RPGs or tabletop games, whether it's Delta Green or other fantasy genre type games. It really does help the show out. And speaking of help the show out, please head on over to patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. For as little as $1 a month, you too can become a hard slinger and help us out. And it really does matter. None of that goes unappreciative. Get a shout out on the show. Get gold doubloons, pictures. We even have t-shirts out there for different levels of patrons that come about. All that being said, let's warm up our dice and top off our glass as Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents A Victim of the Art, Part 2. Enjoy, all you fellow slingers.
You know how the feds always taking things from people. He's taking we're coming in, we're going to establish jurisdiction, take all your hard work, thank you much, we're going to take credit for it. So I was trying to tell him, hey, dude, we're here for you. You reached out to us, we're here to help. How can we help you?
And that's cool. They like that too. They don't want to feel like their shit's being stomped on. What were you going to say, Sammy?
Oh, I was just saying it's such a departure from what I normally role play that after these sessions, I just get the biggest hankering to I need a fucking
murders
dwarf or a fucking half orc or something. I need to role play and sing songs of lust and battle and have fucking red meat juices dripping down my chin and fucking a cloven skull at the edge of my axe.
So on the way home, he's blaring Man-O-War.
I need to get that back in, and then I'm with Ichi trying to play the super courteous and all that stuff. Meanwhile, having the background of being a criminal, it's like
a lot of this, the AP is about your investigation and going through it and figuring stuff out. I think last session you guys had made a mention of, you wanted to see if there was a connection between the two victims. That's fucking amazing, Tone. That's really cool, because there may or may not be, but just the fact that you thought that way, that's pretty damn cool.
Well, they are, linked in one way now.
Yep.
Yeah. Killed by the same person.
I lost my left ear. Did you lose your
Fucking
left?
Predator.
Do you have your left ear?
I do.
I'm an artist, but I ain't Van Gogh.
Whoa, what was that?
There we go. Van Gogh.
There we go.
In an ear.
Ready?
Bring it.
Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, returning once again for session 2 of our Victim of the Art Delta Green scenario. And with me, the Hard Slingers.
Yeah.
I got Sammy.
All right.
I got Tone Dog. And we got some 805s. Thank you, Tone.
Bring in part 2, Electric Ichimaru.
Somebody come out and play.
Put your fucking bottles down.
Those were just going to bust, right?
No,
Short out that.
there is a crack here.
I already had to replace that little 4-channel tonight for some reason.
4-channel? What?
4-channel. Yeah, it's a 4-channel. For some reason, it just took a shit. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's solid state. It's got no moving parts. What went wrong? Well, it does the button.
Actually, it was the power cable that was going to it because I swapped it out with another. Actually, I switched power supplies, different plugins. It still didn't come on, so then I what I do, I swapped out the head unit because I had a spare one. It still didn't come on, so then I swapped the cable and it came on. I was like, oh, fuck.
How all the listeners digging this riveting talk.
Oh, it's riveting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, even being here live, it's just as good.
Well, that's what I got to say. Remember, head on over to patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. For as little as $1, you too can help out the show by helping us with these fundamental items that just have a tendency to have a short shelf life. Say that a couple times fast.
Short shelf life. Short shelf life. Short shelf life.
Janky gear.
Whatever. So let's find out where the fuck we're at here.
So we're going to go investigate. We're going with the cops to see victim number 3.
We're driving separately, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are in your own thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're following the cops.
So you guys make your way through town. By the way, at this point, it is now nighttime. And you follow the police cruiser, and it arrives at the tip of the peninsula of the Great Peconic Bay. It would be a peaceful place with a beautiful view, were it not for all the police cruisers and the ambulance with their lights on. You know, they're not sirening out, but you can see that a lot of the neighbors are starting to come out as well, starting to look at what's going on. And once again, you see that male Asian American and that female heavyset redheaded woman, and they're standing next to their van and they're taking notes and stuff. As you get out of your car, you arrive in time to see a stretcher being loaded into the ambulance itself. Its back doors just starting to close. And Detective Hansen motions for you two as you guys get out of your car. Hey, come on, let's go find out what's going on here. And he walks up to one of his officers and he says, "Officer, what the hell happened here?" And one of the blues comes up and says, "Well, it seemed that a 17-year-old Lord Harrogate has been abducted." And Greg Hansen said, "Well, who the hell they load into the ambulance then?" Mm-hmm. And he says, "Well, that was her mother, Sandra Harrogate. It would seem that she walked in on whatever happened to her daughter, and whatever the hell it was, scared the shit out of her. The medics are saying she's catatonic and just totally incapable of communication. They're going to take her up to Swansea for further evaluation." And it's like, oh, fuck. He looks at you two. Hansen does and says, "That poor woman. She just lost her husband earlier this year from fucking lung cancer. Now this."
So I have a question real quick. The young girl is abducted?
Yeah.
What did she walk in on?
The mother walked in on whatever was going on.
So, but the girl's just taken?
Yeah.
Okay, but if she was taken, did she walk in when her daughter was being taken?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before she leaves, Agent Kimura, why don't we go and talk to her before she leaves? You said her name was Sandra Harrogate. Give us a few minutes to talk with her before she drives away. Maybe something's fresh. She may be catatonic, but just want to check her out.
But you guys used to doing that? Talking to these people like that when they're in that kind of fucked up mode?
Any kind of information we can get right now will help us find the daughter.
Oh, Jesus.
Sometimes it's not necessarily what they say.
You can be with us too if you're concerned about.
No. You guys go ahead and go in. I'll go in the house and I'll look the scene over and see if there's anything I can find out with the others.
You know what? Maybe I can go with you and you can talk to the mother.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to make sure we get eyes on everything.
All right. Come on, Agent. Come on. Let's do this. So as he starts heading towards the house with you, Paulie, you're about 15 feet away from the ambulance. The back doors are already closed. You see that the EMTs are signing something about ready to leave the scene.
Okay, I stop him, pull out my ID. Hold on a second. I need to talk to your patient.
You know she's catatonic, right?
I know, but maybe sometimes it's not what they say, it's what they don't say. More importantly, I'd like to take a look at her. She may witness something. There may have been some cast-off, something on her. Just give me a few minutes.
That's fine. I mean, after we take her to the hospital, we're going to take her up to Swansea anyways, but go right ahead.
Okay. I go in the back, open the door, just one side of the door, and get in.
Okay, you see one of the EMTs. The third one is back there with her, making sure that she's secure to the bed, making sure that all the paddles for the electronic devices are hooked up to her. Tell me what you'd like to do.
What does she look like? She's just laying there, slack.
She looks like she saw a fucking ghost or something. Her eyes are just peeled back. Her face is white, ashen white. Mm-hmm. Her hair just looks frazzled. Her knuckles are white, gripping the sheet that's around her, even though her arms are strapped down, and she's just white knuckled to the point where you don't see any blood going in her hands, and she's just looking at the ceiling of the ambulance.
Anything physically apparent, like she's got any blood stains, any water stains, anything on her clothing, anything out of the ordinary?
No.
Nothing.
No, she doesn't have anything on her. She just
Pee herself or anything?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell
How
because
you
she's
gonna
got
check?
she's got the sheet over her.
Yeah. She got the sheet over her?
Yeah.
All right, he takes a quick peek.
And the EMT's like, what the fuck you doing, agent?
You ever been to FBI training? You ever been to Quantico? You done the forensic test? No? Okay,
I'm
then
just
shut the fuck up.
Just all right. As you look, you notice that the front of her jeans are completely soiled.
Okay. She gripping the sides of the stretcher?
She's gripping the sheet that's over her.
Okay. Polly looks at her. Are her eyes focusing on anything, or is it just
She's
locked?
just like locked on the ceiling.
Her jaw clenched?
Yeah.
You should say that you know where, you have her daughter or something. Like say that something that might snap her out, even though it's a lie.
Yeah. He leans real close to her ear so that the EMT can't hear. And he says, "What you've seen is real, and I've seen it too."
Her head doesn't turn, but her eyes look at you, like pivot in the socket to look to the peripheral at you, and just, Lauren, Lauren, Lauren. And he's like, what the fuck, agent? And he starts giving her a hypodermic or something to kind of to bring her down. He's like, I need some help in here. Get in here. The other two EMTs come in, open up the other back door, and say, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of
Just
here.
wait a
agent."
minute. I need to talk to her. Get that
There
sedative
is
to
no
work.
more talking. She starts mellowing out. I was like, who is your superior?
Say, look, I got an investigation, and I understand that you guys got a job to do. I got one to do too.
Look, my
What
job
she's
is to
seen,
take care of
there
the
is a
well-being of
kid
this
missing.
woman. I understand that, but
There's
she
a
is in
child
no condition.
missing.
I want to know who your supervisor is right now.
Okay, my supervisor is Agent Carter.
Agent Carter.
of the FBI.
Carter.
Now, what's your name of your supervisor? Because right now there's a little girl out there who's being kidnapped, and God knows what's happening to her. And this is the only lady who's
My
seen what happened.
supervisor is Dr.
He whips out.
Dr. Archer.
Paulie whips out a pad. He's like, Dr. Archer, he's got a license number, some phone number I can
Look,
contact
man,
him with?
I only do this on the fucking weekends.
Okay, then just give me 5 minutes with this lady.
I think
5
that what you're
minutes.
doing is highly unethical. Somebody take out a cell phone camera and record this guy.
In
And then you
2008.
look out, make an alertness check.
Make an alertness check. Okay. 76. Clueless.
So you don't notice the Asian male and redheaded woman
Back again?
back there watching
Yeah.
you do what you're doing
Okay.
at the back of this ambulance.
All right, he takes down my supervisor's name. I take down his supervisor. I go back and talk to Sandra. I said, Sandra, what can you tell me? I can find Lauren. I know what you're up against. Help me.
It's ear splitting to the point where I need you to make a sanity check.
The only thing you can do now is check to see if she wet her pants again and then move on.
Well, I wanted to see how much scare she'd get if she made a sanity check. 99.
99. Oh, that is a critical
Failure. God, what?
Hey, so what is a critical? Sorry, I'll ask this later. But what's a critical success? I don't know how that works.
It's anything below that number that's a double or a
A double? Well,
Yeah,
like
like
88, 99, that kind of thing.
yeah, like if say it's 45 and you
Yeah.
roll a 33, that's a critical success.
okay.
Or if you roll
22 or
an
an
01,
11.
Okay.
that's a critical success.
I
as
never
well.
figured that out. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so you take 1 point of sanity damage, and I'll let you know later on what happens with that second part for that critical.
All right. Paulie turns to her and says, yeah, give her more sedative. Take her to the hospital. I'm following up with you. I point to the EMT. I'm following up with you.
No, I'm following up with you.
All right, I turn around and walk away.
I should have warned you about. I was going to warn you that the two were back. I was going to warn the cop.
So as you're piling out of the ambulance, you notice that the crowd has gathered at the back of the ambulance, and you see everybody looking at you, and like people taking pictures of you and pointing at you and whatnot. Ichimaru, you and Detective Hansen. Is that
Fucking
bad?
red alert all
Right.
the time.
He's always on fucking.
I'm gonna get everyone coffee and see if I can melt this.
So you and Detective Hansen make your way into the residence.
I look real quick. Was there force entry? Anything like whoever's around?
As you're looking down, you're downstairs as you enter this 2-story house. You notice that the house is pretty much in disarray compared to what the exterior of the house looks like. You think that house in this neighborhood would be well kept inside, and it's far from it. You notice that there are bottles all over the counter, pill bottles, types of booze bottles,
Yeah. Okay.
dishes
so
in the
booze and pills,
sink. Yeah, just stuff like that. Go and make a
Sanity check.
no. Go and make a search check.
Search.
I think it's search.
Alertness.
Yeah, go and make alertness.
Okay. Search.
We're gonna
is
have to
20.
figure out these.
I'll do alertness because it's 50. Well, actually, search would probably be more appropriate.
Yeah, do a search. That's why I said search. You don't listen to me anymore, man.
89.
89.
I'm not physically rooting through stuff, but alertness would have me just looking around, right?
Right. And I rolled a 2 for Detective Hansen, and as he looks at all the
Dude,
stuff,
eagle eye.
he notices that several of the pill bottles are prescriptions for depression and anxiety disorders, and they're made out to Sandra Harrogate. He's like, I kind of expected this of her. She's really hit the skids since her husband died.
Just a hunch, doctor. Maybe look who gave
I'm a
the
detective.
I'm sorry, just a hunch.
Can I get you some coffee?
The doctor.
Make you some sandwiches?
Let's start this again.
Now you know what it's like, huh?
Just a hunch. Maybe we can run the pill bottles here to see who gave the prescription. Maybe the other people had the same doctor who gave prescriptions. Maybe that is a link. Maybe. It's just something that I thought of.
No,
here.
that's
There's
a good idea.
There's no proof on that.
He snaps on some rubber gloves, takes an evidence bag out of his pocket, and drops them down and then writes on the bag with a pen what they were. And he calls over to one of his blue officers. Hey, Phil, can you, I want you to go ahead and take this back to the station. Let's do a run. Let's find out whether or not the doctor that prescribed these may have had some connection with Dr. Moretti, maybe.
Yeah, I realize it's a small town, so maybe that's the case, but
No, that's a good
Might
point,
as well.
Agent. I appreciate that. From my understanding, they said that Lauren was taken from her bedroom upstairs. I don't know if you want to wait for your partner or...
No, we can
From
go.
the sounds of what's going on outside, I think that he's still going to be a while. You're stay back! I'm a fucking cop! God damn it!
I'll do it. Hold yourself hostage.
Get the feds down here. I want to talk
Let's
to the feds.
no. While he's distracting the reporters out there. By the way, you did see the Asian man and the redhead are here again too. So I have a feeling that maybe he's talking to them or something.
There's only so much I can do about them as long as they're not in the crime scene. I mean, people that are outside of the perimeter, I can't do anything about them.
Just making sure you saw.
I'm sure your agent's keeping them well in check by being discreet.
Probably. Has a very good demeanor with people.
That's great. That's good news. So he says, after you.
I didn't see, or I don't think I got the answer on the door. Was the door just open? Like it
The
wasn't-
front door is open.
No, but it didn't seem like there were signs of a break-in.
Oh, I didn't know you checked for that. Why don't
That's
you
what I
go
was
ahead and
asking.
make a search check on that? All right.
No, 82.
82? Yeah, it doesn't, it just looks like regular scuff.
Yeah.
Key scuff, footmark scuff. Nothing, doesn't look
No
like the
boot
jam.
prints
No,
or-
nothing like
okay.
that. Doesn't look like the door jam's
Screwdriver
broken.
and lock. Okay.
So
I'll mention that as we go up. Well,
Okay.
it appears that this door wasn't broken into. Maybe the person that abducted is someone they know, or perhaps maybe he went in through the bedroom window.
I don't know. It's a second story.
It was-
People fucking flying these days.
No, but people could climb in, climb down.
Lead the way, Agent.
Okay. I'll bring out my flashlight.
You don't have to, but okay.
No, just to look around.
So he let you lead the way upstairs. Agent Odesso.
Flashbang!
Yeah, damn right.
Sorry. Hold on, I gotta go to my trunk.
So the crowd's starting to get a little close to you. A lot of people are asking just this cacophony of questions. What are you doing, Agent? Why are you here? Does this have anything to do with the Glenridge chiropractor? Did you get anything? Is Lauren Hargan, is she part of this? Is her mother, is she responsible for her daughter missing? You know, there's a battery of
bullshit.
questions.
Yeah.
Can you go on the record with anything, Agent? I want to hear it. Tell me what you think. Why are you here in Glenridge?
I just ignore everybody. And Paulie keeps walking. He finds the nearest uniform and says, keep them away from the crime scene. Keep them away from the house. Who's our PR representative here?
I'm sorry, Agent. I think I know how to do my job there on the other side of the line. As far as whatever our PR agent is concerned, I think he's in the residence with your partner.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to get on your case about anything. I apologize. I didn't mean to sound like you needed direction. I'm just saying they're getting awful aggressive.
I appreciate that. You know,
I
what's
don't mean
funny
to
was
take that
it
from you.
must be a matter of circumstance or a full moon, but they weren't like that till your car rolled up.
Yeah, I figured. I have
must
that
have
effect
a-
on people.
A certain kind of disposition towards silver chargers.
Must be.
Charging at them.
Yeah,
I
that.
do have a question, too. We've been introducing ourselves, Kimura, Odessa. Those are our real names. I assume that our credentials would have fake names.
No, they have your names on them.
Okay, so now they have our real names, and now they have our video of people, and now they have video of
I'm not
one of
worried.
us.
It's before the widespread of the internet, man. People are still playing on Snapchat and MySpace.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is they really don't expect you to make yourself bring your head above the whack-a-mole line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
They don't know us very well. I guess. Oh, well.
Heisenberg
us.
should have known.
Yeah.
All right, so he goes back to the house.
You're goddamn right.
And he asks, who's the on-scene leader? Can anybody tell me if it looks like there's been a break-in from the outside?
Who are you
Yeah,
asking?
he's asking the uniform this.
It looks like whatever happened upstairs.
Got it. Okay.
We were just told to secure the crime scene, make sure that we got the mother to Swansea Institution, and wait for Hanson to show up, tell us what to do at this point.
Not a problem. You're doing a great job. Don't mean to step on any toes.
I could see that.
I apologize.
Doing
Sometimes
great job
the,
there,
the
Adrian.
Freds always tell us to walk with big shoes. Just Swansea. Why was that location selected?
Well, that's the Psychiatric Institute on Montauk.
Oh, that's a good call. Hey, who made that call? That was a good idea.
I believe the EMTs made that call.
Yeah.
She's catatonic. She's been there before,
She'd been there before. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
shortly after her husband died. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you happen to know who? Sounds like she's been there before. She's been there before. Thinking that maybe. Who's the doctor up there? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
I was asked to keep the looky-loos from the crime scene.
And you're doing a fine job.
Thank you, Agent.
I stepped in the pout on that. I apologize, officer. Anyway, I'll go see what else is going on. I'll join my
Goatsy?
partner.
That's from 2008, I think.
So, you enter the residence, and you know that you see one uniformed officer, and he says, "Agent, looking for you, buddy." He's upstairs with Detective Hanson.
Gotcha.
Obviously, this guy's not as homophobic as the other one.
There we go. Paulie asks him, you secured the house, right?
God.
Now, when you secured the house, did you notice anything amiss, broken, anything like that?
Have you seen this pigsty?
And it looks bad. You're right. I'm really looking for something obvious, like
Look,
broken
I'll
window.
tell you this right now. Aside from when her husband died, we haven't been out here since. She's an ideal citizen. pillar of the community, and honestly, had I known that her house was in such disarray, I'm sure a lot of people would have got together and helped her out. We didn't know that she was like this.
Got it.
I mean, Sandra, my sister used to babysit her daughter.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Who would take her? Yeah, I mean, from a community standpoint, who would want to harm these people and kidnap her daughter?
From what I've seen upstairs, it defies logic. Oh my God. I can't even imagine what the hell happened up there. But I can imagine that whatever it did is probably what set the mother off completely.
Agent Odessa, come check this out.
All right. Thank you, officer. Appreciate it.
I wanted to ask the Hanson. So, what can you tell me about the father that passed away? Was it?
He died of lung cancer.
Was there any extenuating circumstances?
Still died of lung cancer.
Just
No, he was a good man. He worked hard and provided well for his family. He worked at hang on a second.
cigarette factory.
No, shit, hang on a second.
No problem. Page 20,
Shut the fuck.
book 7.
My husband worked for Northrop Grumman all the way up to the point where he died. Till he just couldn't work anymore.
So, more of a prolonged death than something that was sudden?
Yeah, I mean, once he realized he had it, he was beyond coming back from it. But I think he just wanted to go out with a good show. You know, he was a good, strong man. Like I said, my sister used to babysit their daughter, and he was always a really good man.
And the wife had a tough reaction with it. So, did she see a psychiatrist at all? You said?
Yeah, she saw a psychiatrist for a while. I don't know the name of him.
That may be another. That may be another person that we talked to with the other two people.
Yeah,
maybe they also saw one.
That's possible. I mean, like I said, as the way things are unfolding now, shit's getting pretty hot and heavy. I mean, what are the odds you gentlemen show up and now we have another murder?
Well, you had two before we showed up too, so we're here to help.
Yeah. It looked like anybody was forced entry. Because I'm thinking without any forced entry, she must have opened the door for this person, which would indicate she knew him.
Are we in the bedroom yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
You guys are probably outside of the door at this point. Because I'm imagining that Agent Odessa is up there with you. Now,
Yeah, I called him up the stairs.
Are you talking to Hanson at this point?
Yeah.
Coming up the stairs.
Well, he comes up the stairs. Hey, how you doing? Couldn't get anything out of her. She's pretty catatonic.
Scream.
Yeah. Caught screaming is something out of her, but yeah.
It smells like urine.
Well,
So did she.
make it alertness,
Both
or
of us.
make another search check.
Search.
No. I want to do alertness. Search.
Okay,
sus.
sorry.
Yeah, I got both same score for both of them. 55.
55.
My alertness.
Another
is
critical
great.
failure.
Wow.
God damn.
I'll have to address that in a moment. So the door to Lauren's room is partially closed, and Hanson says, let's go on in. Let's do this. Swing open the door to the room. It's on the second floor, by the way. And the initial impression is that this girl's room is a testament to how popular of a teenage girl she was. You see awards and pictures that reveal that she was a cheerleader and very popular. Friends, eating at the concourse at the mall, shooting miniature golf, hanging out with her friends, pyramids of cheerleaders and all that other stuff. But that's just the facade of the chaos that exists in this room. You see that the French doors that are off of her room have been blasted out of the jamb. Glass shards lay everywhere.
There's the break-in.
On the bed, on the floor. Several of the pictures are torn from the shrapnel of this thing exploding inwards. Go ahead and make a forensics check as you investigate this room.
I also have criminology, if that helps that at all,
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what, you do it however you want to do, whichever.
Well, forensics.
And just explain to me.
Forensics, I have nothing.
Same
So-
with here. I have 40 in criminology, so I'd like to do that too.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, 73, man.
Nothing. 93. I was basically going to look like, one, does it look like something natural that blew these things in, like some sort of firearms or armament or grenades and stuff like that? Or was it something unnatural?
Be sure to record all your failures because you get
Was
enough
that
of them.
was that a
you get
failure, by the
point.
way?
I failed every single roll tonight.
Okay.
So have I. It's something in the air, man.
No, it's not. Something in the dice. Here, why don't
Yeah.
you try?
No. This is part of my. Those
Well,
are
how many rolls
beautiful
have we made? We made
looking.
at
Look
least
at that.
3 of them. You know.
Yeah, you want to try some new dice too,
Yeah,
Tom?
why not, man?
Yeah,
Keep in
these are-
mind that 3 failures equal an increase. Damn, these are nice.
Yeah. No, I
Oh,
can't.
I
I
like.
can't use the handler's dice. I got to warm these ones up. It's been so long since we played. They're cold.
Yeah, that must be true.
Now is that right?
I
Dan?
like these. These are awesome.
Is that right? Then handler that 3 fails increases a point, or is that
Yes.
something that even on something I'm not actively trying to improve?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you're trying to do it, and you're just
Okay.
we're going
I'll
to
just
get better
note
over
that.
time.
I'll note that. I don't know if it's.
So as you
this.
enough with your fucking dice rolling there, counselor.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the metal dice. They're awesome. Nice, weighty, feel good in the palm, and I still roll like shit.
So as you look at this room, you notice that the balcony is very high, and as you look down, you notice that there's no rope, there's no ladder. And Paulie, as you look through the room, you notice that there is a considerable amount of blood spray on the mattress, on the wall above the mattress, even on the ceiling, and you must not have been fully mentally prepared for it, as you take 2 points of sanity damage.
Damn.
And that's for that
Double.
double.
Yeah.
But I need for you as well, Ichimaru, to make a sanity check as well.
Okay. Missed it.
Missed it? And you take 2 points as well. The carnage is staggering at this point.
Yeah. I was misinformed when I heard she was abducted. I thought of abducted, not disemboweled and taken.
Hanson, he's looking at the pictures of her, the specks of blood that have been spattered on it, and he's rubbing his temples, and he just, oh my God, it's going to be a long night. Oh my God.
How long has it been since you've slept?
3 days. The mayor's really on my ass to solve this. That's why I put in the call to Agent Carson.
Carson's good people. He reached out to us. We specialize in this kind of thing. Although, if you could, stand outside just for a minute. I want to close the door and see what it looks like from the inside, if you wouldn't mind.
Actually, I don't mind, Agent. I would rather not be in this room right now.
If you can, maybe, go sit somewhere and just take 5 minutes to not see.
I'm leading these men down there, and if they see me break,
I understand.
but I will stand outside the door. I'll give you your time, agents.
Okay. I close the door, look at each and say, holy shit, man, what the fuck is going on here? This is absolutely horrible.
Are the lights are currently on? It's nighttime.
They're on,
but-
yeah.
okay.
I mean, you imagine it has like a ceiling fan with the 4 lights, and one of the bulbs is shattered, including the glass bezel that goes around it. But 3 of the bulbs are still illuminated.
Well, does the blood spray look like it's being directed toward the... Okay, can you draw out the room for us?
Yeah, is the blood like, with all of our forensic knowledge that I have, which is
Nothing.
Let's see. Well, I don't
Forensics
have
is a 0.
Yeah, I have forensics. I don't know forensics, but I have used a knife on bodies.
We both have criminology, which is the thing. We both got the criminology, and criminology is high for the both of us. 40% for you and 40% for me. So that's our skill.
Yeah, what is the splatter radius? Does it look like someone was on her doing something while she was on the bed, or
This is obviously a shitty
Okay.
drawing, but imagine this is like a little vanity mirror in the southwest corner. The south wall has a dresser with another mirror on it. You guys entered through the southeast door, which is the only door. Against the east wall is a double door closet. Against the north wall is a bed with 2 nightstands. The ceiling has a ceiling fan. And against the west wall is where the French door that leads out to the balcony was shattered and blown into the room. The blood is all over the bed, against the wall, the northern wall, and against the ceiling of the northern area of the
Which
ceiling.
direct...
we're also here to collect stuff and
Like this.
destroy it. So if there's anything, if there is anything that seems out of the
Right.
ordinary, we may want to
We'll take it.
Yeah.
So I told him to stand outside.
Yeah, very good.
So, is there anything in the blood, like bits of flesh, bone, that kind of thing, or is it just spray?
It just looks like spatter effect. I mean, unless you were to start collecting some of the blood and trying to find a way to analyze it.
Yeah, we don't have any equipment to do
Type A.
that. We're gonna have to have the forensics people do it from the local unit. They'll come in and collect it, and then we'll collect it from them. Okay. Anything?
Has
Okay,
this
so the
room already
glass
been
is
swept
blown
by
in.
people?
What's that?
Has the room already been swept by police detectives or anything? Like, is the closet been looked through? Drawers been looked through?
No,
Check the
it
door
just looks
frame?
like they went in there to
Okay.
investigate the point of abduction. And then that's, I mean, you guys were called
Okay.
right out of the gate.
I'll take a quick look in the dresser mirror area just to see if there's anything tucked in the mirror pictures that seem off or
Okay.
something.
Holly's
I'm
gonna-
just looking around.
Paulie's going to take a look at the blown-in glass and everything, see if he could tell if there was an impact of any kind.
Okay. Go ahead and make a.
The French
Actually,
doors?
why don't
Yeah, the French doors.
Ichimaru, why don't you go ahead and make your search first?
Search?
Or what? Tell me what you want to do and how you want to do it. How you want to.
Well, my alert. I'm just looking around, like
Okay.
at the mirrors to see if there's any things like pictures, things tucked in that are like, oh, why would she have this here?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Missed again. 54.
54 with a younger sibling, female. The way that this individual, Lauren Harrogate, has everything set up would be reminiscent of how your sister may have set it up. You don't really know. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. You haven't been able to. You don't detect anything like that. So.
Paulie's going to take a look at the door, see if he notices anything, the glass shards, see if there's a point of impact he can trace by saying anything.
Sure.
41. That's a miss.
Miss, you can't tell how this thing was blown off out of the jam. You do notice that there are two wires that look like they go to some kind of a node, though.
And
That are-
where are the wires coming from?
They go up into the ceiling.
Check this out. We got wires here. Does it look like the handles are still intact on the doors?
What's left of the doors? Well, the handles look like they're still intact, yeah, but it's hard to tell. Whatever hit this thing probably hit its center mass.
Okay.
0%
So the frames,
demolitions.
the door has a frame.
Yeah.
And it had glass.
Yeah.
The glass is gone, but the door handles, I take a look at the locking mechanism. Can I tell if it's been sheared or broken, or it's just the fact that we're pushing in so hard that everything just took a place?
Yeah, they're still attached. The lock is still engaged in that portion of the wood. Mm-hmm. Like if you were to look at the two doors where they mate
Right.
together, it's still locked, even though it's broken.
And they blew in?
Yes, it
Do
like,
these
like
doors normally move in, or do they open out?
they look like they would.
Move in. Yeah. Outside doors always open inward, so the hinges are on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah. See, the hinges on the inside prevents somebody from outside removing the hinges.
Yeah.
And getting inside.
Okay.
So the doors open in naturally, so they just blew them in.
Yes.
What?
Sounds
Okay.
like someone whose dad made him install a lot of doors.
There's that.
I
Yeah.
almost called you the other day.
Yeah.
I had to figure out why my fucking lights weren't working on the solar timer.
Did you try the switch? That's all I got.
That's why you would have called him.
Yeah.
My computer comes with this cool drink tray. You push this button and a little thing comes out and you put the drink on there.
Nobody even uses CD-ROMs anymore, you dinosaur.
My computer doesn't even have one. I have to get like a different like drive that to
Neither does
plug
mine.
in. Yeah.
No. No.
So, what did you want to do?
Okay, so Paulie's looking at it and he's wants where do the window excuse me, on
Where
that
do the
diagram
wires?
that you drew for me, where do the wires come from?
God damn it.
Heisenberg.
Yeah. Are we looking at the wires being like some kind of something from demolitions that blew it open?
detonation or something like that, because the doors blew in and they're still engaged.
Yeah.
So that tells me something was a rate of force, and I can't find any rocks or bullets or anything that would indicate where it was blown in.
So it was all blown in this way. Looks like the wires go from here up into the ceiling.
Like into a hole?
Yeah. Like probably into the attic.
Okay, I guess we're
going into
looking
the
there.
attic. Okay, does anything look scorched?
No, it just looks like it's been completely brutalized.
Any fingerprints, hair, fibers, dirt, dust, anything on any of the glass? Anything would
Probably the
indicate?
crime scene investigators will come out shortly after the detective inspects everything and then has them come out so that they could start gathering up for fingerprints and blood residue and whatnot.
I wouldn't think that these are things that we need to hide.
Right. Let's check under the bed. We haven't checked under the bed. What's in
Or the,
is there any-
or the closet or anything yet.
check the closet? I'll check under the bed.
Okay.
Anything under the bed?
You got to check
Nothing.
the drawers.
Check
Just-
my flashlight.
Okay, if
Nothing,
you're looking under there, you see shoe boxes and stuff like that.
stuff we'd expect to see.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nothing in.
nothing out of the ordinary.
Same with the closet and drawers, things like that.
Yeah, all you see in there is like pictures of her and her friends, little "I love you" notes to whoever the boy of the week is. Or
We'll let the forensics do the fine-tooth comb. We got something.
We got to go into the attic.
okay,
All right, we'll
Okay.
check on
Go out and
Hanson
take a
outside.
We go out
Okay.
and tell Agent Hannian. Well,
Hanson looks
Hanson.
at you and says, "Hannian's not here." So,
we go out and tell him. Well, detective, looks like obviously something happened. Something blew the doors inward, but there's no scorch marks, no indications of explosives. It looks like it's just blunt force, but we're not finding any rocks or anything in there. The blood spatter, of course, is very problematic. It doesn't look like there was anything that punctured the bed or the linens or anything that would indicate that it was a gunshot or something like that. There doesn't seem to be any solid particles in the cast-off on the wall. If you wanted to get your forensic people in there, we're good to go with that.
yeah, they're already waiting on the outside the house right now. They want us to clear the house, make sure there's nothing else in here, and finish up so that they could come in and do that job. So
We would like to check the attic. It's just a way that we're trying to figure out how they gained entry through the French doors, how it was forced open, obviously from the outside. So we're going to eliminate all possibilities. And
are you thinking the pup is still in the house?
well, it's entirely possible because
Holy fuck! Should I get the guys back in here?
I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't think that he's still here.
I don't
with
think
all
so
this.
either. We're just trying to figure out if there was a way, because it's not making sense. There doesn't seem to be anything on the outside. It's a 2-story drop, no ladder, no way to get in. How do you carry off some young body or young lady away from this site? So we do want to check the attic.
All right, agents, you're the specialist here.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Let's
You find it in the above the upstairs hallway, right next to the HVAC. There's a panel, an access door that leads up into the attic.
Does it have the door?
It
or
does.
The thing that comes
yeah,
down.
where you
Okay.
see like one of the
ladder things.
in the closet next to it, the linen closet. There's a handle piece where you could hook it around the eye hook above, pull it down. You see it fold down once, twice, so it has like one of those secular type of stairs that lead up into the attic.
Before we go trampsing around too, like we should look. Not so much worried about that, but most people aren't up in the attic.
yeah.
Tone, put your gun away, Tone. This is a fucking radio show.
Why do you have your flashlight taped to your gun? So I can use my flashlight. If someone went up there and installed it, maybe there's some. Most people aren't up in their attic, so maybe we can see something that.
Well, does the attic stairs fold down easily, like it's been used often, or is it kind of stiff and?
No, it's got like that shudung, shudung.
Yada yada da 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 da. Shadunk, shadunk.
So, anyways,
We bought the flashlights and the pistols.
There you go. Now you
Just
got
to
it.
look like we're doing procedure. We got to sell it like we're agents here, so let's look like we're doing procedure. So we whip out the flashlights in the FBI style, which is like this. So in case Hanson is looking at us, then we give the appearance that we know what we're talking about.
what's your marching order? Who's leading the way?
The self-defense specialist should go first.
Yeah. The marksman who has better aim should go first.
He didn't have better aim though last time. You should want to go
But he's
first.
there now. But
In fact, the safest place is in front of that gun.
And now he has a flashlight.
so I can see what I missed.
I can very easily shimmy up with the flashlight, looking around. I know where we're looking. How far away is where we're at from where her room is?
It's probably about 20 feet.
So it's not too far. I should be able to.
Figure you went up the stairs. 5 feet to the left was her door. And then to the right, for about 15 feet down this hallway, is another door on your left. Another door on your left, a door on the right, and then another door on the end. And the trap door is right above the middle of the hallway. Okay. So you figure you're right in front of the first door on your left. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors upstairs.
Okay, I'm going to have to listen to that again when we play this back.
There's 5 doors upstairs.
Okay, but I'm just looking to see how far away.
Her room is 5 feet behind you. Like you go up the stairs, turn to the left 5 feet, there's her door.
Okay.
If you turn to the right, the hallway leads down. There's a door about 5 feet on the left. Another door about 10 feet on the left. A door across from that on the right, and then it ends at a door.
Okay. So we'll go up in the attic, and then I'll look to see above her room.
Okay, so you pop into the attic, and you look.
Yeah, I'm not expecting like a threat or anything, so I'm just kind of popping up and looking.
Looking around with the flashlight, you do see the wire that comes up out of her room. It's a white wire. Follow it. You see it goes into a junction where there's another wire, and then comes up from whatever the room is below it, and then another one, probably from another room, and then another one at the far end of the attic. So you see that there are 4 wires that come up, and it looks like they join in like a box that's blinking.
Okay. Looks like the place might be wired a little bit. Why don't you take a look?
While he looks, we should gather this up. Pull the wires.
How
in.
big are all these things?
They look like they're maybe Cat 6 wires, so they're like internet type
For the
wires.
listeners, they may not know.
They're like yellow internet wires, but these are white, and they go into like a head unit that's blinking, and it says signal strength on it. So go ahead and make a criminology check.
How about a computer's check?
Yeah, that'd even be better.
Computer science.
Actually, criminology.
Polly looks. Fuck
Everything.
Yeah, me
Everyone's
too.
a fucking
Holy
mess.
shit, you guys
98.
suck tonight.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
not about fighting, Ryder.
Yeah. Dude,
Pretend you're going to fight this unit.
I got a 98. Polly looks at it. I've never seen a unit like this before, ever. An NSA is not using it.
Quit looking at my crotch. What are we
There we
talking
go.
about here?
Yeah, there we go. I've never seen anything like this. The NSA is not using anything like this. Neither is the CIA, the FBI, or any of the agencies I work for. I've never seen anything like it.
What do you want to do with the unit?
Take it.
Is it?
It's probably like 6 inches by 2 inches wide by 4 inches deep. And you see each one of the wires is plugged into the back, and it's got what looks like a 12-volt
What are
supply
these
pigtail.
wires going down to in the other rooms, though?
I'm guessing cameras. Let's disconnect it, collect everything, and put it into a bag into our car. We got to be able to ensure that Agent Hansen doesn't see it. So why don't we just disconnect it, and we'll connect cameras out of each room.
I didn't say it was a camera. I just said that it connected to some kind of a thing that was bolted to the jam.
Well, the most likely thing would be a camera, may not be.
Well, I'm worried that it was connected to something that blew the doors.
Could be.
I don't know.
Could be. That's a possibility. He looked at me more Can I tell at least? No, I can't. With a 98, I have no idea what this thing does. It could be a nuclear bomb for all he knows. All right, let's go into the room and check.
Which room are you going into?
The nearest one that's not the daughter's bedroom.
Okay.
Okay.
As you go in there, you see that it's set up like an office. It was a bedroom at one point that was converted to an office, and you see that the wire comes down also out of the ceiling, and it goes into a window frame.
Is it a burglar alarm?
It is.
Oh, look at you. Good job. I should have known that.
You're right. The crime guy should have been able to look at this.
That should have been something
it's
I
a
knew.
fucking burglar alarm, man.
Oh, that's petty crime.
Well, you're right. Yes.
My goodness.
I'm more of a meat and potatoes dude.
There we go.
You hear Hanson call from downstairs. Hey, you guys about done up there? These guys, they're tired too. It's getting late. They want to try to bust the scene down.
No problem. Let's
Yeah.
take the unit. Let's unplug the unit and just take it.
Well, does that...
Does it have any recording information on it, or look like it's been recording, or is it just a passive monitor?
It's just probably a passive monitor that records whether or not a door is open or closed.
Yeah. So
Let's
I think.
take that.
Or a window is open or closed.
Well, do we even need that?
Well, we can figure out exactly when the time happened, when the window's open, when the door's
But
closed.
we could find out about. That's not like a secret thing. We can have them find out for us quicker than we can. Where are we going to do it?
Yeah, good point.
All right. So Ichi goes down first.
Okay.
Yeah. So. So yeah, Ichi.
Never gets so old. We do, but that doesn't.
Ichi goes down to Hanson and says, "Yeah, so sorry, we just wanted to double check. We did see in the room some wires coming down to the doors. Could have been a burglar alarm, but with the way that the doors were blasted open, we didn't know if there was something a little more, so we wanted to check. It appears that it's just a burglar alarm. It's wired to all the windows, so we just wanted to double check before we sent your people into anything
Well,
dangerous."
yeah, that stands to reason. We were called here because the alarm company notified us that there was a break-in upstairs.
Right.
And that when they called, nobody answered the phone. So they had us roll.
Yeah.
What time was that, if you know?
It was about, shortly after I said, let's roll. I mean, that's like 7:42.
Okay.
40 tree?
What a fool.
Yeah. Yeah, so sorry about that, but in with this situation, it's...
No,
and the
like I
damage to
said,
that
agents, I
room-
defer to you guys. You guys are the experts here. But, all right, I guess, you know what, I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. I don't know. I don't know
We'll
if
take
you-
the files home and study them. So we're going to get at a hotel, and we'll meet with you tomorrow morning. Definitely get a good night's sleep, you agent. You deserve it, and hopefully nothing will happen between now and then.
Yeah, you know, and don't forget at some point, maybe first thing in the morning or whatever, you should probably check with Dr. Santorini, the medical examiner, if you want to get some more information. I know you were curious to see what happened to the bodies and whatnot.
Do you think he would still be up right now?
I'm sure he is. It's going to be a long night for him as well. It's up to you, agents, if you want to do that.
Well, if
Let's go talk to
we
him.
can, maybe by tomorrow you could ask some of your people to figure out or to find out about the prescriptions. Did the other people have similar prescriptions in their house? Maybe there's a link.
Okay,
Or
yeah,
someone that we can talk
I'll
to.
check into that, definitely so. I mean, Hatton kept to herself, but like I said, Marietti, he was a nice guy. I mean, he did some work for my family too and their grill. So
Any connection between these victims? I know I've asked before, but I'm not seeing anything coming to mind for you, detective.
I'm sorry, agent. You just asked me that a short
we
while
noticed.
ago, but I don't see any connection. I mean, other than that Lauren probably went to Glenridge High, and I know that that Miss Hatvin, she was a librarian there. That's all I know.
So, did Vanessa have anything to do with the high school?
Vanessa?
Victim number 2.
Yeah, she was the librarian. I just said that.
And then,
Vanessa.
I'm sorry, and Carl, number 1, he had any connection to the high school?
Not that I'm aware of. No, maybe he's serviced a few of the teachers or the students there. Not like that. Agent Kimura, relax. Put your kimono back on, eh?
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Let's go talk to the ME.
Yeah, and I did mention we noticed some bottles of pills. We're going back to our car now, I assume.
Okay. Are you gonna swipe a few?
No. I was telling Odessa, Paulie here, there were some pills on the counter. I had asked Hanson if he can check with the other victims if they also maybe saw the same. Whoever gave the prescription, did the other people have any prescriptions? I'm trying to find any kind of link between these 3 people.
No, it makes sense. I talked to the EMT, and they made the call to
How'd
send
that
her.
go?
That didn't go as well as I would have liked. The EMT said that Sandra
By the way, as you guys are
Hargate had been to the mental facility before. It sounds like she was a regular patient there, so they're sending her back. So I'm guessing that these pills are probably connected to that institution. Somebody there is just prescribing them to her.
As you guys are walking towards your cars, you notice that the crowds had thinned down considerably. There's less people milling about, watching what's going on. But the 2 that have remained are the ones that are from that Phenomena X. Mm-hmm. And, you see one of them has got this, he's got this big fucking camera on his shoulder, and he's videoing his partner as she's talking into the camera and explaining what's going on, and pointing to the house behind her.
Do they see us?
And as you guys are walking by, she says something, and she starts pointing towards you two as well, and you see him pan the camera over as you two both look at them at the same time, making eye contact as he's filming them.
Roll initiative.
And that is where we will end session 2.
There we go. Just as an aside.
Fucking
But,
feds. They
we were
walk
already
around here like they own the whole fucking goddamn community. Oy, Jesus.
That squeaky door.
Holy shit. I think the mother just shit herself.
The door to the fruit cellar's opening.
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeart Radio. And if you like what you're hearing, please leave us that 5-star review. You could also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com. And be sure to check out the galleries. We got a lot of really interesting stuff posted there. And finally, join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast. There are ways for you to help out the show and pick up swag. So until next session, keep your dice warm and your glass full as you roll those hard 20s.